How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another reaction video. This time it's on the it's a short reaction video, and depending on how it goes, I might not actually upload this video. So if it's uploaded and it's still there, then I'm guessing that it had enough content for me. But I'll just have to see. But that was honestly a terrible intro. But welcome, first of all, to the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. Now, today isn't exactly like actually the 25th anniversary, in which this video did come out a couple days ago. Everything came out 2 days ago, or was shown off. But of course, like I said in my Super Mario 3D World reaction video that I did last time, I was busy. And in which this year it marks the 25th anniversary for Pokemon. And I'm honestly surprised, because I've only been a fan for, how long has it been? Black and White 2 was when I first got into Pokemon, and I've been a fan since. In which I never really played any games before Black and White 2 until more recently, when I actually had, whenever I decided to try and get, the older games, in which I can always go into more of an in-depth, kind of like personal feeling about this, but I want to at least get into the actual video, so I'm not wasting any of your guys' time. But I'm honestly excited to see what this is. It says 25 years of memories, which is honestly a really neat title, and the very first screen is just showing the original Pokemon red, blue, yellow, green versions. And what's honestly amazing is that that same game that is being shown is the exact same generation of games that I actually got, I believe, either most recently or closest to most recently. It was either Pokemon Sword, or, if you listen closely, I managed to get myself an original Pokemon Red copy, plus also a Game Boy Pocket. I got a Game Boy. But yeah, as you can probably barely hear, if any of you guys can hear, I got myself a Game Boy Pocket years ago from a cosplay convention center, and then about a couple years ago, I went to a store that sells a bunch of video games, new and old, and bought Pokemon Red. And I honestly feel happy getting it, because I'm able to I'm able not to relive, but to actually live through what the original Pokemon fans got to go through. I'm being able to experience the original games. But I accidentally already went into full depth of, I already started getting off track, but let's get right into the video. I'm excited to see what this has in store for us. Oh, hello. It's a Rube Goldberg machine. Look at all those little statues. Oh my goodness, cartridges. Pokedolls. Boom. Ow. Ooh. Doesn't need cards. Wailord, Trico, Gardevoir, Sableye, Pikachu. Look at that little happy Pikachu. Ooh, more Pokemon cards. Ooh, minecart. Flying Dragonite. bonk. Look at him go. Ooh, Haunter. Lucario, Groudon. Woo! Catapult. Snivy, big enough. Swat. No boy, Ditto Pokedol. Regular Poison Shiny. Pokemon Anime. Nope, Anklet Cartridge and Psyduck. Meow. Look at him go. Pokeballs. Look at all those speed. Pokemon Go. Boing. Now, of course, for Ninja. Gyarados. Ooh, Corviknight. Got the flying taxi. Oh my goodness. It was always like Pikachu. In all honesty, despite how short of a video this is, I am in complete awe of this video. And I wish I could cry. If I was able to choose to cry, I would be using Hydro Pump right now. I wouldn't just be using something like Water Gun or anything. I would choose to use Hydro Pump right now. In which I honestly wish that I was actually a kid back when the original games came out. I wish I truly was able to experience all these old times. Collect the original Pokemon cards. Collect the plushes. Because I remember back when I was in... Now here's when I'm actually going to start doing like all of the backstory, which is probably going to be the biggest bulk of the video. I remember back in elementary school, which was when I first, heard of Pokemon. I had my first small collection of cards and was starting to get my first Pokemon games, being Pokemon Black 2 and Pokemon White 2. I got Black version first. And the thing is that my very first Pokemon that I ever got in those games, of course, was my starter Snivy. Now, the thing is that I look back at the game and I truly... It truly was my first experience as a Pokemon trainer. But the thing is that I keep on questioning if it truly was my first Pokemon adventure. Because... yes, I did play it. It was the first time I played a Pokemon game. But the thing is that because of how poorly I did on the game, how much I skipped through so much of the story, and all that, I barely even understood really the story. My team formation was bad, and I truly don't even think I even put too much heart onto my own Pokemon. Like, I just collected them, and the thing is that because of how bad my team was formed, I struggled so much. Even though the game's supposed to be harder, I struggled so much. I remember that my team was a Serperior, an Unpheasant, an Excadrill, and then the 3 Swords of Justice. Now, yes, that sounds like a terrible team right there. I didn't even have a Surfer on my team. In which my Serperior, I remember that had like Leaf Blade, Mega Drain, Giga Drain, and Leaf Tornado. Or maybe it was either like Giga Drain, Leaf Storm, Leaf Tornado, and Leaf Blade. For Excadrill, I don't really remember his moves, but I think I did teach him like Metal Claw and Dig. Unpheasant knew like Roost and a bunch of non-damaging moves. The only like truly damaging move that he had was Fly. And then the Swords of Justice were kind of like my main were my main HM users. Terrakion, I believe, new Strength, and Rock Smash, and Virizion new Cut, and I don't know if I ever taught any HMs to Cobalion. And it took me multiple years just to finally beat Black 2 because I struggled so badly at Getsis. And even on the very first gym of that game, I struggled badly with. Second gym, I struggled badly with. Some of the later gyms, I struggled badly with. Getsis's fight, I struggled badly with. And then the entire Pokemon League was a nightmare as well. In which I know I felt satisfied when I beat the game, but the thing is that my team formation was just terrible, and I didn't even know how to even restart the game. But that was only because I was in elementary school. And also, people got upset at you for just bringing Pokemon cards to elementary school back then. Then came one day out of the blue. My mom and dad would purchase us Game Informers. You know, like the things you would get from GameStop. One day, we had one, and a brand new Pokemon game was announced, being on the brand new 3DS. It was a fully fledged 3D Pokemon game in which the thing is, I know we had the Wii and such back then, so I knew that there was 3D games and all. But the thing is, of course, I was still a child back then, and this was when I believe I was in 5th grade. Either like 4th or 5th grade when I first heard of this. And the thing is that it was just, I don't even think I still even beat Black 2 yet. Nor White 2. I barely even made any progress in that game. And I believe I had the exact same team. If I even made it any far. XY was revealed with Mega Evolution, brand new Pokemon, full 3D. And the thing is that in the Game Informer that revealed the game, it showed off the 3 starters: Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie. And the thing is that I know that I'm always a fan of fire types, like I'm always a big fan of fire, much like how my main OC is a fire kind of character. But the thing is that for some reason back in, of course, Gen 5, when I first got my Pokemon game, when I got my first Pokemon game for Christmas, I chose Snivy as my starter, but then, you know, the thing is that you would think that I would go for the fire starter. But for some reason, the moment I looked at the different starters, Chespin just stood out to me. I had an instant connection with him the moment I seen him. And the thing is that I originally had Snivy as my favorite Pokemon, but the thing is that the moment I seen Chespin, it just, something clicked. I knew that something was going to be special about him. And then XY came out. I chose Chespin, and I also had the event Blaziken in both versions, because I got both versions for Christmas. Well, the event Torchic. So I already had 2 permanent members on my team. A Chespin and a Torchic with a Mega Stone and the Speed Boost ability. I know I believe I had a Blastoise on that team. Because I asked my sister which Pokemon I should choose, in which it was a Blastoise. So I didn't even get to experience Mega Charizard X at the time. I got to use Mega Blastoise, because my sister, she was a big fan of Squirtle back then, before she was a fan of Eevee. And Rowlet, because Rowlet wasn't even a real thing back then. So I, of course, had a Squirtle on my team, Then there was, I believe I know I had the jaw fossil for a bit, and I also had a Mega Aerodactyl on my team. So that was for the 6 Pokemon I had on my team. Then of course there was the Lucario that you would get from Karina, who had the Mega Stone, in which, oh my goodness, I remember the first time I Mega Evolved that Lucario. I was just in my room, I was in middle school, I believe, and the thing is that, the time of I remember specifically it was evening time in the world of Pokemon. So the thing is that you just had that beautiful orange sky. Now, yes, I did fail the battle the first time, I believe, but the thing is that, I just had it just gave me this feeling like this. It was like the most perfect moment of all time. And so that means I had 3 fighting types on my team, actually. Brings back memories now of my team from Black 2 with the 3 Swords of Justice, but at least... Wait. Actually, no, I had... Oh boy. I'm just realizing just how similar my team was. In some ways. Did I believe I also had Talonflame on my team as well? Who was my flyer? Or maybe that was Aerodactyl. But then I do definitely remember that I, of course, had the legendary Pokemon Xerneas on my team because, I had to have the box art legendary, the big legendary, because it was strong. Although I got rid of its Geomancy move the moment I got it, but because I was a dumb child at the time. Then of course, like my Y team was pretty similar, but I had Charizard and everything, and I believe I might have had something other than an Aerodactyl. I might have had a Talonflame. I'm not exactly sure. Then I did a second playthrough of X, so that means I gave up the Blaziken. Now, yes, I do realize that that it was a hard choice to make, but I accepted it because I knew that I would still have him on my Y version, which means that I would definitely never. Which means I vowed to never delete my Pokemon Y file, because I have a special Pokemon on that file, and it's the only one I have of it. My second X playthrough came to where I wanted to play through the entire game without even evolving my starter. So I just had an entire team. I chose Charizard for that team, and I believe I even had a Talonflame. Most of my team, I'm pretty sure, was basically the exact same. And I believe I even chose Auroras as my fossil Pokemon that time, in which it didn't exactly stay on my team for too long, I believe, or maybe that was on my Y file. But the thing is that, for the entire time, I never even evolved my Chespin. In which, also now that I'm thinking about my first playthrough, I remember how much of a pain it was just getting through a lot of the trainer battles. In my most recent playthrough, I already had like a Chestnut by the time I was at Karina's gym. But I remember whenever I was just getting to Karina's gym, my Chespin was only just like becoming a Quilladin, and my Charmander was still a Charmander until I decided to grind it up to a Charmeleon after multiple attempts at Karina's gym. I was still pretty bad with types and also not knowing about grinding and kind of just instantly moving to the gym. Second playthrough definitely went by a lot better. And then the third playthrough is my best team. I don't care if it didn't have the event Blaziken, but it was my best team. And it was also my most interesting team of all time. Because Because the thing is, I had my third playthrough set up for many years ago. But the thing is, I never got past the starter point from getting your starter because I was wanting a shiny Chespin. A shiny male Chespin. Chespin became my favorite Pokemon after a while. I discovered that he truly was going to be my favorite Pokemon. And I honestly loved his shiny version. I started to learn more about Pokemon and what Pokemon was truly like. I never even really knew about shiny Pokemon, in which my first shiny Pokemon came from Gen 6. Although, the first time I encountered a shiny was just on accident from a meta type, but I had no Pokeballs. So I had to defeat it or run away, which was a sad time. But I also did get myself a shiny Ghastly from hatching an egg at the daycare. In which what's funny was that just as I got him, not too much long later after, the shiny Gengar distribution event happened. So I had my own shiny Gengar without even having to. In which I believe it was like one of the first attempts I ever did at just trying to get like a shiny Gengar or something, or just trying to like breed a Haunter or something for a Ghastly, because I believed I didn't like have a Ghastly or something. And I just randomly just bred a Ditto with a Haunter or something, and I just all of a sudden got a shiny Ghastly. It was honestly strange. So it truly became my first shiny Pokemon of all time, which was the Ghastly I got. But moving back to the third playthrough, I remember like years ago I tried doing the shiny hunting techniques to where you would like press the buttons to soft reset the game, in which I never knew about that really. In which I would try it for, I was up at my great grandpa's house, trying it a few times, but the thing is that it never really, I kind of got bored of it after doing it, and anyway, I'll get distracted. I just kind of like tried it for like an hour or two, gave up, tried like later another time, gave up after a very short time, but then came 2 years ago. I was watching a video about the hardest shinies to ever get in a Pokemon game, and one of them was the Kalos starters. And the thing is that from that, I wanted to try again. I wanted to try and get myself the shiny Chespin again. So I got back, I pulled out my old Pokemon X cartridge, and I started trying. In which I thought I wouldn't even be able to do it, and I would just give up again. But then after, I believe, about 10 attempts, in which you guys, if you guys have actually seen the video on my account, on my YouTube channel here, then you guys would actually realize, and would actually know. I actually did it. After about only 10 attempts, I was able to get the shiny Chespin. He was male, he had neutral stats, I believe. It was perfect. And I started the run with him. And that start gave me my best team of all time. I even recorded basically on with paper and pencil most events plus brand new events that I would come up with, because I'm wanting to become an animator and even animate my own Pokemon journeys. Make things more unique, add special stories, special things to my Pokemon teams. Like for example, despite like my Chespin being of course obtained in Kalos, it would actually be obtained in Kanto before any other Pokemon. Of course, it was shiny, but then like I know like my starting team didn't exact. I'm getting off track now. I'm just having full on nostalgia of my most recent playthrough. So I of course had like a Vivillon. Like some Pokemon like kind of like stuck for a bit at the very early game. Like for example, Vivillon and my shiny Chespin. I got to the professor's lab, got the Charmander with the Mega X stone, and moved on, and not too much later, well, I already had the Vivillon, I believe, and I also had my Quilladin already. I already had my Chespin up to a Quilladin. I come to the second gym area, and inside the glittering cave, I believe it was called, where you get the fossil, I first of all got the actual fossil, but I also caught a female Mawile who I named Melody, in which I also did name a lot of my party members. Like, all except for one, I believe. Chespin was named Chespy. I don't know why I keep on, like, adding that Y to it. For example, my Charmander was named Charmy. Chespin was named Chespy. Oh, wait, no. Charmy would be what I would name my Kanto Charmander, the one that I get from Kanto, in which it would have to be a male, and then the female Charmander that I got in X and Y was named Ember. Sorry about that. In which, even though she has the Mega X Stone, in my story, she wouldn't even prefer the Mega X Stone. She would be preferring the Mega Y Stone, and Charmy from my Kanto team would probably be preferring the X Stone. So I'd have both Mega Charizard X and Y, kind of like fitting them both. Vivillon I did not give a nickname to. The female Mawile I named Melody. And the Tyra I didn't exactly name till much later on, but I named him Rex. Then came after the second gym, and I caught a female Eevee, despite how long and annoying it took to catch one. And I evolved it, of course, through friendship to get it a Sylveon. In which the thing is that on the Pokemon Amino, I was asking people what I should name some of my Pokemon, and one person gave the idea of Rubon. And the thing is that Rubon is basically like another, I believe it's like a different language word for ribbon. Kind of like how Sylveon is kind of like known for the ribbons it has. In which I stuck with that name. Later on came down to the third gym, in which my Sylveon did not exactly take that long to evolve. We of course got to Reflective Cave and all that. Didn't exactly bother too much with completing the Pokedex at the time. Then of course came the third gym area, in which just before I got to Karina, Chespy the Quilladin evolved into Chestnut, gaining the fighting type, and also gaining his signature move, Spiky Shield, in which this was the first time I actually kept Spiky Shield. So I got to experience what it is. In which I also got a Lucario, who I can't remember who I nicknamed. I was having such a hard time trying to figure out an actual name for it that represented kind of like how Lucario is kind of like an honorable soldier kind of thing. Or like a warrior. After the fourth gym, in which I believe that Lucario had to replace someone else on my team, because I was starting to get down to my finalized team, in which I believe that Rex was replaced first. I might be wrong. It was either Rex or Vivillon. And then came Goomy after the fourth gym. Goomy I named Amy, actually. It was a female Goomy that I named Amy. And the thing is that it took me a while to evolve it to Slugoo, because it was a very slow leveling up process. So I had to do grinding over in the same route I caught it. In which, although it didn't exactly do the greatest in the fairy type gym, it did start picking up pace once it started evolving into Slugoo. But the thing is that because of how long I had to wait till it started raining again and all that, I didn't exactly have a certain move that I wanted it to learn at the time. So I had to use a heart scale after evolving it. But once I got it to Gudra, it started picking up the pace real quickly. To where it knew Power Whip, it knew Aqua Tail, it knew Dragon Pulse, and it knew Outrage. It was some really good moves. Ember knew some Dragon type moves, a Flying type move, and a Fire type move, I believe. And the thing is that my Chestnut was constantly changing his moveset. Like he had Bulk Up, Spiky Shield, Hammer Arm, and Wood Hammer, in which I knew that the last two came over time, in which he had like Bullet Seed and other moves over time, and even Rollout. But of course things changed over time, in which I'm thinking of changing his moveset again, in which his moveset did change much later on. The Bulk Up was replaced, in which I might actually get back Bulk Up. Actually, no, because I did give him another move that could help covering certain types. Well, a certain type, but I'm not sure. It was a TM move that I got much later on. Melody was the Mawile was starting to get some good fairy type moves. Like it was Gameplay Rough and Iron Head, Iron Defense, and Crunch. In which at one point it did have probably its strongest Dark type move, but I did replace it because it did tend to fail, because a lot of the times I was going first before the opponent. In which you probably know what move it was if you know the moveset of Mawile. What else? Actually, probably since it's just the same screen, I'm just going to be like having the video play on through again, just to kind of like have like a background kind of visual. But Lucario was starting to get the moves. I don't think it had Dragon Pulse just yet, but I know it had. I don't think exactly he had some sort of like Steel type move, but I do know that I did replace the Bone Club move that he had with something else over time. And I know he kept Power Up Punch and he kept Forest Spear and Spear. And then of course he learned Dragon Pulse later on, and he had another move at one point, which was replaced in the post game when I got a really good Steel type move. It was a special hit. It was a special kind of damaging move, but it was probably one of the stronger moves I could get. And then there's of course my other team, in which after the Fairy type gym and all of that, I decided to actually like train up my, what was it? I decided to train up my Tyrant. I wanted to have a special story kind of related moment with him, and evolve him over in the Icy Caverns, in which he was evolved into a Tyrantrum over in the deepest floor, in which I made a special story event for him to where that block of ice that usually most people would have to evolve a Eevee to a Glaceon, I had that icy rock actually kind of like encapsulate a deceased Tyrantrum, actually, fossil. And it even had a ghost in which it was actually a royal Tyrantrum, in which it even had a bunch of battle scars on its ghost. Same thing with Tyrant here. I am the one that I would have. And it even gave it the ability to evolve during a sundown. And the thing is that I do feel bad because I didn't give it the chance to learn Draco Meteor, but the thing is that because that if I was to animate it, it's going to be my world, and I get to choose that I can have Draco Meteor. So a lot of things are going to be a bit over-exaggerated. But he did over time he did start learning some better moves, like better ground and rock types, some good dragon type moves. Ugh. What else? I just know that my team started to really become finalized. In which even after catching Exernius, I actually kept with. I did not actually keep the legendary on my team. I decided to keep my actual team because I felt the most related to them. I bonded with them so much to where they would actually like break free from status conditions or cause crits to make sure I'm happy, or to not actually get KO'd because they want to keep me happy and because if they don't want me to feel upset. In which that truly just shows like what Pokemon's supposed to be about. You can't just all be about EV training, IV breeding, all that stuff. Pokemon's supposed to be about bonding with the Pokemon that you train with. And the thing is, I feel like that most people, a lot of Pokemon YouTubers that you see nowadays, a lot of the times you're always seeing them, doing all these special trainings. Everything's gotta be competitive. But the thing is that with Pokemon's supposed to be about, bonding with your team, making connections, growing stronger together as one. That's the whole point of Pokemon. And that's what I felt with this team. This team I felt the most connected with. In which the thing is that I also, towards the very end of the game of my Pokemon X playthrough, I was able to get the TM for Dragon Claw, and I taught it to my Chestnut to help give me a good Dragon type move to help face off against Dragon types. Because I know I already have 2 Fairy types and a Dragon, and 2 Pokemon with Dragon type moves, but it was always good to have extra coverage on a Pokemon, not just moves that are of the same type. Because that's the mistake that I made in the past, and I know I still make it today with most of my teammates, but with most of my Pokemon team members. But the thing is that I'm at least trying to be a bit more strategic with my moves. And I feel like it's been working. And in the post game, I also got the TM for 2 other moves. For 1 other move. That being Flash Cannon, which I taught to Mawile and Lucario. In which the thing is that I'm probably most likely going to refine the movesets of my team to find the perfect moveset for them. But I'm not exactly the most sure on that at the moment. I'll have to think it over, real deeply. And I still feel bad that my Tyrantrum did not learn Draco Meteor, despite me wanting him to really learn it. Because I didn't know that only Tyrant could actually learn Draco Meteor, in which Draco Meteor isn't even accessible until the very end of the game. So it was a bit sad, in which I really do wish that he was able to learn Draco Meteor even as a Tyrantrum, which would honestly make the most sense. Because a lot of evolved and pre-evolved Dragon types can learn Draco Meteor just fine, but for some reason Tyrantrum just can't. But yeah, I honestly just loved my team, in which I liked playing the more recent titles, like Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Sword, but for some reason, Pokemon X and Y have to be my picks for my favorite Pokemon journey. And that's why I kind of choose that game as my truly first Pokemon game. Despite Black and White 2 being my actual first 2 games, XY was was the game that I feel I actually learned and grown. In which I'm pretty sure that a lot of you Pokemon fans have felt the same way. In which I'm even trying to do that with the older games. I'm trying to like get the older games. I have Pokemon Red right now, my Game Boy Pocket. I still need Blue and Yellow. I need a Game Boy Color with Gold, Silver, and Crystal. And I need the Advanced for Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and the Heart Gold. Not Heart Gold. And the Gen 1 remakes. And then of course any games from the DS era, the 3DS era that I don't have, and of course the rest of the Switch games. And I would of course want to get any of the spin-off games. But yeah, this video has gone on for way too long because this game was this entire video was just me telling my entire story of Pokemon. So I'm sorry if this video was boring, and I was actually expecting this to be so much shorter. But tell me your personal favorite Pokemon stories, like in the comments. Share your story about your Pokemon journey, like your favorite Pokemon journey, to where you feel like that you had your best team and that you bonded with your Pokemon so much that you don't want to ever delete it because of how much time and effort you would put to making this team. I don't want... Now, yes, people will always be having playthroughs to where they're just EV, IV training to have the most perfect Pokemon for competitive. I'm not exactly a competitive player. I'm more of a casual player. And I want to hear people's casual Pokemon journey stories. Like from whenever, it could be like the very first Pokemon journey that they remember, or it could be like their best Pokemon journey. But do tell me in the comments, and it would be nice to hear a lot of different perspectives on their Pokemon journeys as well. But I'm excited to see what this year unfolds for Pokemon, and I hope they are all excited as excited as I am for this. But of course, this video is starting to get a bit long, and I will be having another video uploaded soon after this one. Probably like the day after I upload this one. Which will be, of course, me reacting to Pokemon, to the new Pokemon Snap game. And that's probably going to be my last reaction video for a bit. But hope you all have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye! Yeah, boy, that was a bad bye. Bye, everybody!